June 9, 2024, 2:47 p.m. She stepped off a Delta flight from Charlotte into Phoenix Sky Harbor, the desert air thick, dry, and humming with heat. Her name was Valerie Harper, 51, cautious by habit, finally ready to believe in something soft again. For the first time in over a decade, she traveled with nothing but a small black roller bag and one single reason to be here. A man she had never touched, but felt she already knew. By the following dawn, Phoenix PD would tape off the front door of a stucco ranch house in a quiet subdivision north of the city. Inside, silence, one body, one devastating truth. So the question isn't only what happened, it's how a woman spends half a century learning to survive alone, only to lose everything 14 hours after daring to hope again. Welcome to Crime Story Vault. Thank you for being here. Hit subscribe if these stories matter to you. Valerie Harper was born in October 1973 in Macon, Georgia, to a mother who cleaned hospital rooms on the graveyard shift and a father who vanished before Valerie ever started middle school, leaving behind unpaid bills, a string of broken promises, and 3 daughters who learned early that love could disappear overnight. She was the second-born, the steady one, the child who never slammed doors or demanded attention. While her older sister rebelled and her younger sister cried herself to sleep, Valerie learned to iron her own uniforms, balance the checkbook at 14, and keep her pain folded away like the perfect hospital corners her mother taught her. Strength, she decided young, was quiet endurance, not noise. She was sharp in the way that doesn't announce itself. In school she sat third-row center, spoke only when spoken to, and kept her grades high enough that no one ever worried about her. She chose finance because numbers never lied, because spreadsheets never ghosted you, because columns always balanced even when people didn't. By 22, she had an associate's from Middle Georgia State, an entry-level bookkeeping job in Charlotte, and a steady boyfriend named Derek, who fixed commercial refrigeration units, showed up on time, and made her laugh in a way that felt like sunlight. They married in her aunt's backyard the summer after her degree, with rented white chairs, a grocery store cake, and a cousin DJing off his phone. Their first apartment smelled like lemon pine sol and hope. She handled the books at a mid-sized logistics firm. He serviced walk-in coolers across the Carolinas. Eventually, they stretched into a small 3-bedroom, 2 kids, and the quiet agreement to keep going even when the spark dimmed. The distance crept in politely at first. Longer routes for him, longer hours for her, dinners eaten in shifts. He stopped asking about her day. She found strange numbers in his call log and receipts for hotel bars. She never raised her voice, never threw him out. She just waited for the truth to arrive on its own schedule. It took almost 2 decades. By their 17th anniversary, they were roommates orbiting the same house. By year 20, they were strangers sharing a mortgage. The divorce papers were calm, almost apologetic. She signed them with the same steady hand she used on tax returns, moved into a tidy 2-bedroom near South Park, and started picking up Saturday clients to fill the silence where his footsteps used to be. Her son Jordan was already in the Air Force, stationed in Colorado. Her daughter Brielle was finishing nursing school in Raleigh, always studying, rarely visiting. And Valerie, for the first time since she was 19, lived alone. Her days became orderly: spreadsheets, coffee in the same blue mug, grocery runs to Harris Teeter, and recorded sermons on Sundays from the 4th pew. Clients called her reliable, precise, the one who caught every discrepancy. But when she locked her front door at night, the house sounded like an empty spreadsheet, clean, balanced, and missing something vital. She wasn't lonely in the loud way. She just missed being known, missed someone noticing she was tired before she said it, missed shared jokes over burnt toast. Friends told her to enjoy her freedom. She smiled and nodded, because she'd been enjoying freedom for years. She watched women her age post new engagement photos, watched others retreat into cats and wine and quiet surrender, and told herself maybe second chapters weren't written for everyone. But the hope never fully died. It lived in the small moments, when she lingered too long on a couple holding hands at the mall, when she caught herself wondering what it would feel like to be chosen again, not fixed, not managed, just chosen. One Thursday night, folding scrubs for Brielle's care package, while a true crime doc droned in the background. She saw two women in their 50s talking about meeting online after messy divorces. One of them said, "Solitude stops feeling brave the day someone reminds you what it's like to matter." Valerie didn't pause the show. She didn't tear up. She just kept folding. But the sentence followed her into the next day. Friday, on her lunch break, sitting in her car with the AC blasting, she downloaded the app. No makeup, no filters, age listed honestly at 51. She didn't write, "Here for a good time." She wrote, "Here for peace." She didn't tell her kids. She mentioned it offhand to her older sister over sweet tea. Just curious what's out there. When her sister asked what she wanted, Valerie shrugged into the phone. Someone who says good morning and means it. Someone who wants the real me, not the fantasy. Her sister warned her to be careful. Valerie laughed softly. She had spent her entire life being careful. That night she left the app open. She didn't swipe, she just waited. By morning, one message waited. A single word, Serenity. Have you ever let a stranger hold your hope before you ever held their hand? His name was just Malik. One photo, clean fade, trimmed beard, broad shoulders under a plain gray tee, eyes that looked straight into the camera like he had nothing to hide. Bio, faithful, patient, becoming. No gym thirst traps, no cliches, just calm. Valerie noticed the stillness first. She swiped right but didn't message. At 7:58 a.m. the next day, her phone lit up. "Good morning, beautiful, Serenity." She smiled before she could stop herself. That was the beginning. Malik's texts arrived like clockwork, thoughtful, scripture-tinged, never pushy. He asked about her childhood, her mother's favorite hymns, what disappointed her most about marriage, what she still believed about love. He listened like he was taking notes. He spoke about his own healing season after a bad breakup and losing his warehouse job. Said he was 29, living alone in North Phoenix, journaling, cutting out toxic people, and learning to be the man a good woman prays for. It felt deliberate, mature, safe. They moved to late-night FaceTime. He kept his camera steady, voice low, called her queen, sent voice notes of affirmations and prayers. He never rushed intimacy. He said things like, "I know how to cover a woman who's already whole." Valerie told her sister he felt different. Calm waters, not fireworks. He didn't beg for nudes, he didn't disappear for days. He paced her like he understood her rhythm. Then the photos started. Tasteful, shirtless shots after the gym, always captioned softly, "For your eyes." Preview of the protection coming. She never asked for them, but she saved them, told herself it was connection, not lust. One night, he sent the photo. Full body, perfectly lit, flattering in a way that felt almost too perfect. She stared longer than she meant to, then locked her phone. Later, detectives would discover the image belonged to a fitness model out of Atlanta, cropped and filtered, sent to at least 9 other women under different names. But to Valerie, it was proof the wait was over. He never asked for large sums, just small, gentle emergencies. Phone about to shut off, groceries after a long week, therapy copay so he could keep growing for her. 50 here, 30 there, 200 for a missed rent check. Each time he thanked her like she'd saved his life, doubled the affection, called her rare, divine, irreplaceable. By week 6, she had sent just under $800 in careful increments, always followed by longer calls, deeper scripture, promises of restoration. One night, after transferring $175 for car insurance to come get you at the airport soon, she stared at the confirmation screen and felt the smallest tug. Not alarm, just recognition, an old pattern wearing new clothes. But Malik made her feel seen, and seen felt better than safe. When he finally said, "If I cover my half, will you come spend a weekend?" she didn't hesitate long. She texted her sister, "Taking a quick girls' trip, need to breathe." She didn't say it was to meet a man. She called it self-care. Thursday night she packed with the same precision she once used for her kids' school trips. 2 sundresses, a new silk robe still in tissue, perfume she hadn't worn since her wedding, flat iron, comfortable sandals, and the gold bracelet Brielle gave her for Mother's Day. She zipped the small black bag and set it by the door like any other business trip. Friday, June 9, 2024. She wore white jeans, a soft coral blouse, and the faintest smile as she reread old messages on the plane. As the desert rose up beneath her, she whispered, "Let this be real." At 2:47 p.m., she stepped into the wall of Arizona heat. He was waiting near baggage claim, hoodie up despite the temperature, leaning against a pillar, phone in hand. He didn't rush her, just locked eyes, smiled, opened his arms. "Told you I keep my word." The hug lasted longer than a first hug should. The drive north was quiet, windows down, R&B low. He pointed out new construction, complained about traffic, said he'd cleaned all morning. She studied his profile, the way his fingers drummed the steering wheel. They pulled into a single-story stucco house on a cul-de-sac lined with Palo Verde trees. Blinds drawn tight, lawn neat, but no toys, no dog bowl, no signs of life. She told herself she was just tired. Her last text ever, sent as they walked inside, "He's even finer in person." Saturday night blurred into Sunday morning. Takeout containers on the coffee table, a movie neither watched. He was polite but distant, drinking water like it was liquor, barely touching her. When she reached for him in bed, soft and hopeful, he froze. Then he undressed, slowly, mechanically, and the body beneath the clothes bore no resemblance to the photos she'd memorized. The shock hit her like cold water. She sat up. "I flew all the way here for this? You lied to me. You catfished me." Her voice wasn't cruel. It was clarity. His face changed. Shame collapsed into rage. He struck her. Once, twice. Then his hands found her throat. 14 hours after landing with hope in her carry-on, Valerie Harper was dead on a stranger's bedroom floor. Sunday, June 11th, 9:18 p.m. A calm male voice on a 911 call. "She's not breathing." No panic, no name, just an address. When Phoenix PD arrived, the door was unlocked. He sat on the living room couch, shirtless, rocking, hands clasped like he was praying or hiding. He nodded toward the back bedroom without being asked. Valerie lay face down, fully clothed, one sandal half off her foot. Red marks ringed her neck. No blood, no overturned furniture, just silence and the faint smell of Dutch Bros coffee lingering in the air. Her small black roller bag still stood zipped by the door, tags still on. Inside a locked nightstand drawer, burner phone, fake IDs, printed photos of other women, and a half-empty box of enlargement pills. The rest, reverse image searches, text records, edited photos, and 9 other victims in 6 states would come later. Malik never cried, never said her name. When asked what happened, he shrugged. "I tried to humiliate me. I couldn't let her leave with that." In November 2025, he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder rather than face trial. Valerie's daughter took the stand at sentencing and looked him in the eye. "You didn't just kill my mother. You killed the version of her that still believed people could be good." Back in Charlotte, her 4th pew seat stays empty on Sundays. Her coworkers still set a small vase of grocery store roses on the desk she no longer uses. Her suitcase came home on a later flight, still zipped, still waiting to be unpacked. And somewhere tonight, another woman is reading a message that says Serenity or Peace or Good Morning Queen, smiling before she can stop herself, wondering if maybe this time the story is real. Don't let it be the last smile she ever sends.